Hey, it's Nick, and welcome to Nick's Bricks. Today for you, I have this absolutely massive and very, very special Lego creation. Now, of course, I believe you can tell what this is, and it is, in fact, a modern home. Now, this is an absolute mansion, and it was really, really tedious to build in some parts, and overall took me an extremely long time to assemble. Overall, this thing took me about 6 days or around 30 hours of building. I grinded pretty much every day after school on the weekends to get this thing done in time for Jim Bricked Mox contest. So if you don't know who he is, I'll just plug his channel link. He has a contest with some really great prizes, so I do recommend you check it out. But back to the house. This thing is an absolute beast, hosting many features that we'll dive into right now. The entrance of the house itself is very wide with 2 doors and a slim window next to it. Above it we have a gray feature which really kind of outlines it, and above that we even have some more white windows that align with various other places in the house. Some of those other places being right here, where again we have the windows up here and right there. The overall defining feature of this house, which gives it that modern aspect, is the very large stone column. I included many different features of this to give it that really detail and just make it pop out a bit. Some of these using some door rails all along it scattered about, just to make it pop out, give it a bit more depth. Next to that, we do have just some long slim windows along, because that usually is a feature of a modern home. One of my favorite parts of this build are the large windows that sweep the whole entire second floor of the house. Now, it is a very definitely defining feature of modern houses to have these big windows, and it makes this house feel like something you might find outside of LA. A disappointing feature of this house is the lack of windows on this side right here. I will definitely add in some more windows. Because of my restricted time frame, I am not able to do that now, but I will definitely in the future once I do replenish my parts selection. The back side of the house also has some large windows, but a more luxurious and defining feature is the infinity pool, featuring a snot deck and even some different colored tiles to define the shallow area and the deep area where you would jump off the diving board into. We also have some foliage surrounding it, giving it that more luxurious kind of garden feel. And then we have the roof. The roof with all of its slopes and curves and the way it overlaps right here, it kind of reminds me of the way the Sydney Opera House does. Now, the Sydney Opera House is definitely on a totally different magnitude of greatness, but that's just a little thought I had. Upon entering the house, you come into a large, spacious room with really not much in it besides a chair. I intend to keep it this way just because a modern feel is very open and there really isn't too much clutter. I really stressed over making the kitchen in this build very unique. To accomplish this, I made it very large. I added an island that can sit 4 people, a stainless steel refrigerator, and a snot oven. Along with some smaller details, we have glasses hanging upside down in the corner. And then we have a large thing over the oven, some ventilation. And I really, originally I had a more complex design, but I did not want to interfere with the flow of modern, which is usually relatively simple. The dining room is quite large with a table big enough to sit 6 people, although I only have 4 chairs because how many parts they take up. In the corner, we also have a wine cabinet and some modern art. Surprising enough, for such a large house, the living room is relatively small, with only a coffee table, a bookshelf, a couch, and a very modern TV with a soundbar. That's really all it has to offer. The stairs going up to the second story are rather quite simple, and they do not have a railing. Why? Because who needs railings? They're outdated. I was a little bit less ambitious on the second story because of my depleting parts collection, but we can still get an overview with the master bedroom here, the bathroom right there, and coming to the side we have the rather large guest room. It also features an office to the left. You'd have to be a real master to live in this bedroom, and I don't mean like a master's degree, I mean like a sensei master, because this thing is absolutely huge. We have a very modern bed along with a seating area using some wheel hubs as the chairs, and a small coffee table in the middle with a flower, and even some plants scattered around to give it a bit more color. The bathroom is rather large, with a large 4x4 shower, a sink, and a toilet, along with some stained glass as a divider between the shower and the rest of the bathroom. We also have 4 studs wide of some light blue tiling. The guest room is rather fair in size and has some large windows spanning it, along with a modern queen-size bed, a backdrop, and even some turquoise blue lighting. On the other side, we have a very plain and small desk with a modern lamp and some letters and envelopes. The most challenging part of this build, by far, was definitely getting the plating to line up with the angle I have in the house. It took me over an hour and a half and 3 layers of plating to accomplish this, but finally I did. Although there is a small gap there, I will be fixing that with some angled plates I have, but because I don't have enough time or money as of right now to order them for Bricklink, this is what we have today. The office area is very quaint, with a small chair, a bookshelf, a MacBook, and just some papers sitting on a desk. Now that's about all this modern mansion has to offer. I sure did have a blast building it, learning new techniques, experimenting around, and it is definitely my best creation of all time for my city, for my channel. It will definitely be going in my city, along with a few modifications to the plateworks and adding in some windows. I'll be bringing this to Philly Brickfest, and if Jim, you're watching this, this one was built especially for you and for your contest. Now guys, make sure you do enter in his contest. He has some absolute amazing prizes. So guys, that's about it for this video. If you enjoyed, make sure you do hit that like button, turn on notifications, and subscribe to help support the channel. And see you next time.